between Russano and Pokebuni. This is a semi-final matchup, best of 3. Looks like we're gonna start off with Terran versus Protoss on Tal'Darim Altars. So, if the players are ready, I am too. Alrighty, and here we go. Once again, this is the semifinals in the $75 Playhem Open Daily Tournament. If I said that right, I have absolutely no clue. But as everything's loading up, we have GoSuPokebuni and Russano on Tal'Darim Altar. It's actually the first ever real high level match that I have ever casted, so you guys may have to just bear with me. Spawning down here in the lower left position, we have our purple Terran, who is GoSuPokebuni, and spawning in the lower right, more around the 5 o'clock position, we have Russano. So Tal'Darim Altar, obviously big map, you guys know that. Definitely going to make for hopefully a macro-oriented game. Won't be seeing as much Marine Marauder medevac all-ins as we've seen earlier in the lower division tournaments. So, with all that being said, obviously it's going to open up standard play. Pylon going down for Russano. No, obviously not going to scout out right now. Probably wait here a little bit. And Pokebuni throwing down his Fly Depot in between his Vespine Geyser and Command Center in order to drop it and just look like a complete and total badass. Be like, yeah, bro, I meant to do that. Anyway, Russano throwing down a gateway. Not going to go for next first or anything like that. Most likely. Best idea. I would never do that or suggest it because Terrans, well, they'll dominate you with pressure on that. And Russano now sending out his probe to scout. And is going to scout out Pokebuni first of all. And Pokebuni not sending out a scout just yet. Throwing down his barracks on 13th, so pretty much standard play so far. See the second pylon going down in the back for Russano and versus Simulator coming up. And Scouting Probe and SCV are going to run into each other, kind of gave each other a high five right there. And the Probe for Russano is going to scout out Pokebuni, sees that he has not thrown down any gases yet, and is going to throw a little bit of harass on that SCV that was building. However, didn't manage to do a whole lot because Pokebuni brought that second SCV off to kind of help out. Now Russano is just going to throw a little bit of harassment on that SCV as he figures that he's maybe seen enough for right now. I'm going to take that drone out and throw down a cybernetics core of his own. As we see this SCV definitely scouting out all of Russano's base. And Pokebuni throwing down Fly Depot in kind of a different position, but maybe afraid of any air, Void Ray, Phoenix is coming over there. And he'll see it, Warp Prism even. And brings out his mule, got that orbital command about, I believe it was 16, or I want to say 18, but I'm not entirely sure. And we see another command center going down for Pokebuni. Also, Warp Gate research being upgraded for Russano, and SCV still hanging around there. As we see Russano's probe coming back here, maybe going to throw down a proxy pylon somewhere soon, and this stalker is going to come out and maybe slap that SCV around a little bit if he does scout it out, or if he does find it. But nope, just looking for any kind of proxy barracks or anything like that. As we see, Pokebuni already has 3 Marines out. He is building a couple more barracks, so this could be indicative of some early pressure from Pokebuni. You see 4 Marines already out on the field, and 2 more gateways going down for Russano. And we see that SCV, is it going to be able to scout those 2 gateways? No, he's not. He's actually going to run it back. And we see that SCVs are taking a little bit of pressure from that stalker at the front, but not really going to do a whole lot, just poking and prodding, seeing what he can figure out. And we see that proxy pylon going down that I was talking about a little bit earlier, and Another? No, that's a refinery. My bad. I was going to say another barracks going down for Pokebunny, but nope. I'm obviously stupid and thought that the refinery was a barracks. And we see some SUVs being transferred over to the natural of Pokebunny, and these two stalkers are going to poke up. They're going to see that bunker being made, and good micro by Russano to make sure that that stalker does not lose any health. Only lost 3 HP, and the shields will regenerate over time. And we see a couple stalkers and another stalker coming down, and two more stalkers and a Zealot being warped in, and a expansion going down for Russano. These Marines are going to come over. They're going to find that and retreat right back to that bunker, and is it going to be enough to hold for Pokebunny? Oh yeah, he is pulling off all of his SCVs on his line to repair and throwing down another couple of bunkers in the back, and those stalkers are going to actually just poke away at those SCVs as much as possible, and we see Pokebunny actually getting a tech lab on one of his barracks. Looking at the unit counting stations right now, we have 28 probes to 27 SCVs for Pokebunny, and 12 Marines and 7 stalkers for, or 12 Marines for Pokebunny and 7 stalkers for Russano. And we see Pokebunny, or Russano poking Pokebunny with those stalkers. Sorry, I don't know why I found that funny, but apparently I did. And we see Marauders now coming out. Stim is actually being upgraded for Pokebunny, and with 2 gas right now, he's just gonna pump out Marines and Marauders, and hopefully get concussive shells after Stim so that he can slow down some of those stalkers and essentially snipe them as they're trying to poke in and run away. Looking back at the base of Russano, he's still only on 3 gates. And we see he's actually going to be able to take down that first bunker. Maybe, yes, he does get that first bunker, and losing a little bit, but not a whole lot. And those SUVs are actually just barely a little bit late on getting that bunker. So Pokebunny does lose a little bit, but not a whole lot. He just has to fall back to his second stage of bunkers, and we'll see if anything big goes on right now. Stim about halfway done, and Russano is still just poking along with those stalkers. Back in Russano's base, we see Nexus, his natural, is actually getting pretty well saturated with probes right now, and he is completely saturated with probes at his main and throwing down Robo and a Forge, so we could be seeing Immortals, possibly Colossi. Actually, Russano does have a probe right here that is on, well, follow of this other probe, and looking at it, Russano's still just poking away with those medevacs. If Pokebunny had concussive shells, he'd actually be able to take out quite a few of those medevacs. Wow. Quite a few of those stalkers. And now we see Pokebunny going to go and take out that proxy pylon to prevent any further reinforcements for Russano. So far, a very good game from both players. Pokebunny has a little bit supply blocked himself for a quick second, has 3 supply depots going down right now. He also is building he's adding on a reactor to his factory and a starport, probably going to switch those over to pump out medevacs as soon as possible. And we see that Russano actually getting his +1 in shields for his ground units from this forge, and he is getting an observer from his Robo facility. Looking at GoSuPokebuni right now, his units are poking out and maybe checking around, maybe looking to take a bit of map control. We see Russano sees that force coming and is going to pull back with all of his units and send out that observer, kind of do what it does best, detect everything. Pokebunny actually does have a supply advantage, even though it may be a teeny tiny little bit of one, and he is going to push up. Russano is going to have to have some very nice force fields, actually traps a few Marines, but the rest of Pokebunny's army is actually going to come around and snipe one stalker, I believe. And looking at the supply, they're actually very close. And we see a Ghost Academy actually going down right now for Pokebunny, and as I mentioned earlier, he switched over the factory and the starport to start pumping out some medevacs, and we saw a Robo Bay go down for Russano, and he is going to start to get some Colossi out, and he is getting his +1 in ground weapons. So we see this probe kind of, well, going to its death right there. Even though that observer saw that armor there, that probe kind of just went there to make sure it was still there. We see a couple more bunkers going down for Pokebunny, and pretty much nothing really happening right now. Pokebunny has about 4 medevacs, I believe, out. Let's check the unit counting station. He has 16 Marauders, 20 Marines, and 4 medevacs out to the 15 Zealot, 7 Stalker, 5 Sentry, and 1 Colossus of Russano. We also see Mobius Reactor and Combat Shields going up, along with +1 Terran Armor for ground units, and he already has his +1 attack. So here we always see Pokebunny maybe thinking twice about taking that Zelnaga Tower back again. I don't know if he knows that all of Russano's army is there, but Russano has a pretty nice force. Well, if he didn't know Russano's army was there before, he knows now. And Pokebunny may be just content to sit back and let Russano attack into him. And for those of you who don't know, Nelson Cruz for the Texas Rangers just hit a home run, and the Rangers are up 6-4 in the World Series. And here's the big engagement right now. As you see, Pokebunny is skimming and trying to move past those force fields. Very nice force fields for Russano. He is going to be able to hold this high ground position right now, and Pokebunny is going to have to fall back for the time being. He does have an observer right in the middle of his army right now, so it's kind of just keeping tabs on what he is doing right at any given time. And we see that Mobius Reactor has finished, so Ghost will be coming out very shortly. We see 2 in production right now, along with the external thermal lance for the Colossi, and +2 Protoss ground armor, and another Colossus. So we have 2 Colossi on the field right now, along with the third one in production right now. And we see this probe kind of scouting to see if, oh, we see, never mind, I thought that his army was actually moving in, and it was just 1 observer. So we see Pokebunny is going to actually look to take this third, but Russano's army is actually going to move up into range of these bunkers, and he is going to look to take out a few of those bunkers. He is going to take out the bunkers. Ghost EMP, very nice EMPs from the Ghost, but this Bioball army is not going to be enough to hold off this Colossus. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. I did not see all the rest of those units, but Russano is just going to be content to fall back for right now, as these Vikings almost, yeah, they did get 1 Colossus, and Pokebunny is actually going to push forward with this force. This Viking probably trying to be a hero and snipe that 1 Colossus, but he's not going to be able to do a whole lot right now, because those Stalkers will shoot him down. And we see right now that Pokebunny is going to go back to taking away the rocks at his third and look to take that. However, Russano has already established his third base, and he is going to be able to just throw down a few more gateways, start throwing in more units after units, along with to support his Colossi. So both players playing very well right now, very high levels. Very good game to cast, and very happy to be casting tonight. And we see Templar Archives going down for Russano. Gonna get some high Templars out and hopefully be able to storm the crap out of this Terran Bioball. Storms are very effective, in case you guys didn't already know. In which case, if you didn't already know, well, God help you. Looking back at Russano's base, he does have observers pretty much well spaced out throughout Pokebunny's base, and he is able to kind of see everything that's going on in there. Pokebunny does have quite a few Vikings out on the field right now to deal with any Colossus. He has, looks like 7 Vikings. Looking at the unit counting stage, we have 77 SCVs to 69 probes, and 9 Vikings actually out on the field. So 4 Colossi. And looks like we have a push coming right now from Pokebunny. This is actually a very nice push, sending the Vikings out ahead of the rest of the army to hopefully snipe the Colossi. And we see an engagement here. Pokebunny splits up his force. I don't quite understand why there are no force fields, and it's just going to have to fall back. Hopefully the Vikings will be able to get the last 2 Colossi, and then they'll be able to turn around and initiate on to the rest of this Protoss army. Some nice force fields, trapping about, I'd say about 10 units, and taking out the rest of the Vikings. So this Colossus is going to be able to do a lot of damage here. And wow, Pokebunny actually going to be able to push right through this force of Stalkers and Sentries. And look, we have a few more Zealots being warped in, and the Terran Fireball right now is on very, very low health, and Medivacs actually have plenty of energy to heal. However, Pokebunny looks like he is going to have to retreat, and Russano will hold off this attack. However, Pokebunny does have a nice little force here back at his base, while Russano is going to have to max up as quickly as possible because Pokebunny is already back at 143 supply to Russano's 107. Very good first game from these guys so far. Russano is taking a 4th base right here, and it looks like he is upgrading. Yes, that is level 3 shields for ground units. He is going to have to get some storms down in this next battle because they will be definitely a great asset. I don't think his High Templar had enough to really storm in that last battle, so he just elected to not use it, or he may have used feedback on some of those Medivacs. However, I did not see anything go down from those High Templar that he had a little bit earlier. Now we see Pokebunny coming in with a big Bioball unit, no real Medivac support right now, and it's just going to try to come in and take out this force from... Oh, we see a feedback going down on one of those ghosts. Very nice feedback. However, some nice EMP, or that first EMP missed completely. You see the Zealots, nice storm going down on Pokebunny's army. However, the Zealots are going to be able to charge right into the Marine Marauders, and Pokebunny actually got them in a nice little concave right there. However, there are plenty of Zealots to be able to try to kill the rest of these Marines and Marauders. Nice hold by Russano, and let's see here. Pokebunny has taken a 4th and has a lot of SUVs at that 4th. Wow, that's a surprising amount. And he has actually 2 mining bases now because all these SUVs are pretty much just mining, well, they are mining 2 mineral fields. So Russano actually doing a great job of holding right there. He is pumping out another Colossus, and Pokebunny is building 5 Marines, 4 Marauders, and 2 Ghosts. He's sitting on a lot of barracks. What is that? That's 10 barracks right there. Wow. And just so much stuff has been going on in this game. I haven't really been able to look at Pokebunny's base. So, that's an incredible amount of barracks right there. And only, what, 3 reactors on them. 2 starforts with reactors also. This factory is kind of just there for show. I'm surprised he hasn't been using it to scout at all. And Pokebunny, I wonder if Russano sees that Expo going down. Yes, he does. So he's going to be able to take it out probably as early as possible. But we see a Dark Shrine also going down for Pokebunny, so that could be doing some damage also a Dark Shrine going down for Russano, so that could be bad for Pokebunny if he does not have any protection in his army. But I'm sure that his orbital commands will have plenty of energy to be able to deal with any DTs. We see the Zealot taking control of that Xel'Naga tower for a split second before being absolutely slaughtered. And now we see Russano gonna have to run away, and we see some nice storms go down on Pokebunny's army, doing a lot of damage. Now Russano should be able to take the rest of this game here just with those storms. Some very good storms going down. EMP's going down on the rest of Russano's army. Actually, this is a very nice engagement here for both players, and we see Russano is actually gonna have to fall back because very good EMPs landing on all of Russano's army and being able to take out a lot of, well, obviously all of Russano's shields, but a lot of his army to begin with. But some nice storms to initiate from Pokebunny, or from Russano, and it's just pretty much nulled any push that Pokebunny could do at the moment. And we see Pokebunny has taken this kind of hidden, I'd say, 5th base, and that would be his 6th, but his hidden base up here is going to allow him to mine for a long, long time. I don't know where exactly Russano threw down his Dark Shrine. Oh, there it is, in the middle of his main, and I don't know if he still has it. No, he finally changed that gateway to a warp gate, and he is electing to go with a very Zealot-heavy army, and we see Pokebunny quite possibly going to be going for some elevator play here. If he loads up all these units into these Medivacs, he could do a lot of damage to the main of Russano, but he is going to choose to just fall back. Why are these Medivacs just flying over here? I have no clue, but they're probably just coming to look around. I don't know, but it could have been a bad play. He loses 2 medevacs actually, and a nice EMP goes down, killing all those stalker shields. And we see this Colossus coming out. Why is it going out there? Oh no! And we see some nice Psionic Swarms going down again, and Zealots are going to actually charge into that army, and the Zealots are actually going to be able to do a lot of damage. Psionic Swarms do a lot of damage also, and we see Russano actually being able to do a lot of damage here, but is he going to be able to hold this? Some nice EMPs from Pokebunny's Ghost, and Russano actually has plenty of units back in his base. Very nice game from both these players. Very good game so far. And we see the production tab for Russano actually completely empty, and Pokebunny is actually up to 185 supply right now to Russano's 125. So Pokebunny actually has 60 more supply than Russano. We see Colossus being built 2 at a time, and we see more Stalkers being warped in for Russano. But we also see Russano sitting at about 200 minerals. And as we look at the income, it is substantially larger for Pokebunny, and 70 harvesters to 73. I wonder if there's a DT hitting somewhere, because I just saw that number kind of diminish. So I know that he did have some DTs there for a split second. Let's check out the unit counting station. We only have, well, no DTs, so either he was hitting with DTs and then Pokebunny was able to kill him, or I don't know what happened, but we see 4 more DTs actually warping in right here, but they are going to walk up to this 5th and try to do some damage. However, the main thing that we are going to worry about right now is the storms going down on Pokebunny's army. Very nice storm, actually getting almost all those units into yellow health. And as these 2 Marines are going to stem up that ramp, and we'll see Pokebunny does throw down a feedback on that. EMPs go down on Russano's army, and it looks like Russano is going to be able, well, he may not be able to hold this. We don't know yet, but Pokebunny may have just a little bit too much of a bio ball for Russano to hold off right now, as Pokebunny is going to continue to press forward with this Marine and Marauder push, as these Dark Templars are actually being warped in, and they're actually going to do a lot of damage. As we see the scan come in for Pokebunny, Storm kind of cleans up that army right now, and we see an Archon being warped in. Oh wow, very nice hold, and let's see what these DTs have done up here. These DTs have actually not hit anything just yet, and we're going to see them go down here and try to kill off a lot of SCVs possibly, and these DTs are going to kill off a lot of SCVs. Wow, look at that. Let's look at the workers killed tab right now. 29 workers killed for Russano. Dang, that is a lot of workers killed. And we'll see a scan coming up for Pokebunny, and yes, scan comes up, kills 1 DT, but the other DTs are running up to, well, looking for another Russano base, but he knows he should. I think he knows that that's the next one. No, he does not know that Russano has either of these bases up here. And that DT does fall to another orbital command scan. And we see these DTs just kind of running around freely, looking to snipe off anything. 3 DTs are going to be able to dominate just about anything without detection in one shot. Especially from a Terran Bio Ball. And now we see that, I wonder if Russano has to know that there's no, yeah, he does know that there's an orbital command right there. I wonder why he hasn't tried to take that out just yet. However, we do have a DT in here. He did kill off quite a few SCVs before that Marine Marauder came up to take care of him. And we have another DT coming in, and he is going to probably take out that missile turret. Yes, this DT right here has 4 kills. This other DT has 0 right now, but he will get his fair share. And we see our Pokebunny's army moving out across the map. This is, as I anticipated a little bit earlier in the game, this has been a very macro-oriented game for both players. Pokebunny is almost completely maxed out. As we see, this DT is doing a lot. Or we have 2 DTs up there doing work, and wow, this is a scary force coming from Pokebunny. He has 11 Ghosts on the field, 38 Marines, 33 Marauders against just 29 Zealots. 5. Oh wow, that High Templar Storm just did a lot of damage to those units. And let's see if EMPs go down. And Russano, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen in this battle right here. but those Vikings are going to be key in taking out those Colossi. Viking 0-0, but this force for Pokebunny is actually going to get cleaned up, but Russano has nothing that can really attack those Vikings except for 2 Stalkers and 1 Archon right now, and they are going to do their best to take out those Vikings. However, the Vikings do get all the Colossi. Very great game so far. Wow. I'm so glad that I'm the only one casting this, because this is an absolutely amazing game. And we see these DTs have actually, one has 19 kills between the 2 of them. Checking out the workers kill tab again, 62 workers killed for Russano. Those DTs have actually been working magic for him. And especially, like as I mentioned earlier, with those DTs being 3-3, wow. Those things shred through SCV, probe, drone, any type of worker line ever. And we see Pokebunny is actually coming in with another. Oh, he does scan right there, takes out that observer for Russano. And Russano's army again, all High Templar. Let's see how many High Templar he has. He has 7 High Templar, 15 Zealots, 3 DTs on the field. Actually just in there to, well, wreak havoc, essentially. And here comes another push from Pokebunny. Let's see if those... Oh, wow. Very nice EMPs go off on the whole army of Russano. And this could be very, very bad. As we see, there are no swarms available for Russano. Pokebunny sending in those ghosts to EMP first. Very smart decision. And Pokebunny has actually shredded through Russano's army right now. However, Russano has 5 DTs, and we see some snipes going down. And Pokebunny is at 79 supply to Russano's 115. So, kind of makes you wonder where Russano's whole army is. And he's actually sending all of these Zealots to their death right now. He should have stayed behind with that Colossus to do some splash damage, but he is probably just trying to survive this push from Pokebunny. GG comes out from Pokebunny, and he leaves because he lost literally everything except 4 SCVs to that constant DT harassment. Very great game from both players. Obviously, I had my eyes on the wrong thing. I had my eyes on the pushes the whole time. However, the DTs were actually wrecking through all of Pokebunny's bases and just caused so much damage to where Pokebunny felt like, obviously he's at 32 supply, Pokebunny felt like he had just no chance left in the game. Very great game from both players. Very interested to see what happens in the next game in the series. Pokebunny goes up 1-0 over Russano. Or Russano goes up 1-0 over Pokebunny. Sorry, my mind is almost gone. That was just a very great game.